Introducing first, accompanied to ringside by IQ superior Samantha Smart, from the Board of Education, former
Time for our main event, but David, before we get into that, of course, we saw the recap of the chaos that happened just last week here on WOW. Of course, it was Holly Swag who was able to pick up a big victory over Penelope Pink, but it was Miami Sweet Heat who took advantage of that opportunity. Holly Swag, being in the ring by herself, came out. Well, it was Big Rick Betty and Jesse Jones came out and made the save. David, that feud between these 6 superheroes, the Fab Four, and of course Big Rick Suburban and Holly Swag, far from over. We'll talk about that a little bit later on and concentrate on it sometime later, but now it is WOW World Championship main event time.
Here comes Samantha Smart walking in with the Classmaster, former champion WOW.
And David, the main event is next. The Classmaster with manager Samantha Smart in her corner versus the WOW World Champion, Tormenta.
The IQ superior Samantha Smart and the Classmaster are here to reclaim our WOW World Championship title from Tormenta. Wow. Your IQ inferior boos are incredibly loud and annoying. What are you even trying to do? Drown out your own stupidity?
Oh, she is so vicious to this crowd here in Vegas.
Speaking of stupid, David McLean wants us to win our title that really should already be ours. Again, not fair, not logical, but no problem. Because here we are. The contract is signed and there is no turning back now. Tonight ends the era of the illegitimate champion and begins the reign of our championship. Tormenta, tu tiempo se acabó!
Well, she said the illegitimate champion, and that is false.
Guadalajara, Mexico, your WOW World Champion, and Tormenta!
David, as Tormenta makes her championship that you see strapped around the waist of Tormenta hangs in the balance as the former champion, the Classmaster, challenges for that championship in this matchup, David. Of course, we saw that contract signing, and Samantha Smart is still fuming from losing that tug of war, David.
Well, the Classmaster's earned his shot, this being Tormenta's second defense. And of course, she got that other no contest in there when she was injured, and that shoulder has been beautifully wrapped. She's taken months and gotten that shoulder back in shape through rehab, and boy, it was painful. And speaking with Mela Hanau, her interpreter, the pain was unbelievable. When I saw Tormenta for the first time here in Las Vegas, when she came in with Mela, her interpreter, she said that pain was like nothing else she's ever felt, Nigel, that pain of that shoulder. So look at her making her way back, and here, Julio Rodriguez holds up the championship title that Tormenta so proudly represents here on WOW, challenging WOW World's champion Tormenta, the big boot, sending the champion down, David. This, her first match ever since rehabbing that shoulder injury, David. And you have to think, going into this matchup, you know Tormenta is ready, being the fighting champion that she is, to defend this championship, but there has to be a little bit of nerve in the back of her mind, David. Well, the shoulder's looking good, and she goes up high. Tormenta goes up high, and there's no doubt she's back. Tormenta taking the Classmaster over, and Samantha Smart quickly rises to the occasion, jumping up. Holy smokes, she put that ruler in harm's way. Tormenta went to grab it. Classmaster attacks the champion from behind. her fingers to her forehead saying, loser, loser.
Well, now wait a second, David. Look at the shoulder now of Tormenta. She's just gripping that right shoulder again, and she could have already re-aggravated that injury, David. This is what I was talking about. When you jump into the ring, I know she was excited to get back to action, but was she ready? Is she ready to defend that championship, or is she going into these shark-infested waters with the Classmaster?
Well, I notice we've got Melaheno here at ringside. She's sitting behind me on my left side. She's here just in case anything could happen tonight in that ring to Tormenta. She wants to be in here in case of any potential injury to interpret the Spanish for the officials, the doctors and the EMTs that are here. The ambulance is on standby tonight for this championship bout.
And the Classmaster sending Tormenta down to the canvas. And now going, yes, for the bookmark is the Classmaster. Of course, the Classmaster doesn't mind applying the submission, and it looks like she's got it locked in. The Scholar Collar. And again, ripping away at that same shoulder that was just rehabbed by Tormenta. The Classmaster coming in with a game plan, David, to try and injure Tormenta and possibly take her out of action even longer.
Well, they've got a plan. Go after the shoulder, wear her out. Doesn't matter if it's a submission or a pin. They're going for victory tonight. Samantha Smart wants that gold back.
You know what I find very interesting, David, is that Samantha Smart and the Classmaster accused Tormenta of cheating to win this championship, when in fact it was Samantha Smart who slid that book in to help the Classmaster to begin with.
You got that right, Nigel. It was her own doing that all backfired. Look at that leg drop.
Amazing height from the Classmaster. And fans, this is great main event action for the WOW World Championship. Of course, if you want to see some of the great World Championship matches that we've had from the past, check out our 24/7 streaming channel on Pluto now, as the Classmaster once again going for a submission on the WOW World Champion Tormenta. The Boston Crab applied on Tormenta, who is once again using the energy to climb to that bottom rope and break up the hold from the Classmaster.
Julio Rodriguez talking to the former champ, and you saw the championship title right here. The championship belt is on the line. The winner of this match grabs this championship and takes it home. Will it be Tormenta keeping it, or the Classmaster regaining it?
The first Mexican-born WOW World's Champion Tormenta being hoisted up. The Snake Eyes from the Classmaster, the former WOW World's Champion, is Samantha Smart, her manager, on the outside of the ring, just taunting Tormenta, trying to get in to the back of the mind of Tormenta. Mind games is what Samantha Smart specializes in, David. Certainly a great insurance policy of the Classmaster during her WOW World's Championship right now is the Classmaster.
Oh no, she's picking her up. Not successful. Tormenta tries to ram Classmaster into the turnbuckles, and look at that drop kick.
Oh, beautiful seated drop kick from the WOW World's Champion.
And she rushes with that shoulder right into Tormenta and takes her off of her feet. And now she rushes her into the corner with both of her knees jammed into the shoulder blades. Oh, look at that drop kick right into the two boots into the chest of Classmaster. Tormenta's on fire.
That high impact, high octane offense from Tormenta almost won the matchup, but at the last possible second, the Classmaster gets her shoulder up, and this WOW World Championship main event continues, David.
Samantha Smart sticking her nose in the business again. Could this be the reason Tormenta possibly is gonna be pinned right here?
Classmaster with the suplex, will it be enough? Tormenta kicks out.
Just in time.
Well, again, using that shoulder that Tormenta has rehabbed for quite some time now, as the Classmaster having a second to catch her breath, recharge, and now the kick to the side of the leg of Tormenta. Tormenta catches that kick attempt, The Classmaster tries to spin out, but Tormenta able to catch the Classmaster. Tormenta has the leg hooked in. Classmaster.
Was that a three? Was that a three?
No, referee Julio Rodriguez saying the Classmaster got her shoulder up, David. But it was very close, and several of our 1,000 fans here in Las Vegas thought it was over for the Classmaster. But the former champion with the DDT to Tormenta. The Classmaster has won matches with that move, but not good enough to win the championship on Fremont Street today. Samantha Smart yelling instruction at her charge, the Classmaster, who hopes to regain the WOW World's Championship for a second time if she's able to knock off Tormenta.
Outside the ring goes the 6'2" competitor.
Take a look at this, David. Tormenta now on the ring apron.
Oh no, she's taken down the hard way with the head into the metal of that side of the ring.
The Classmaster, of course, has been studying tape, preparing for this matchup with Samantha Smart. Preparing for this matchup with Tormenta, and Samantha Smart smiling on the outside of the ring. Oh, the Classmaster just knocked down Samantha Smart.
And she took it right there. And there's a suplex from the champion to the former champion. As all the competitors are on the outside of the ring.
An unintentional shot, that back elbow from the Classmaster, knocking Samantha Smart down and distracting the challenger, the former WOW World's champion, the Classmaster, as Tormenta.
Tormenta's going high. She's going high.
The top turnbuckle, and Tormenta goes for the meteor.